call my name. I freeze, I burn, I blame. I love, I hate the same. It's on my face, I cannot hide from the mistake my parents made. I'm never moving on. Not made from love, a remnant of a selfish motive. Was I needed? Do I need it to go wrong? Polarized, inherent pain pumping through my veins. Eyes in flames, call my name. I freeze, I burn, I blame. I love, I hate the same. If I embrace the side of me, I only fuel the fire. But is it wrong for me to fight against the balance of my power? History in halves, one brain. I will break the chain. Oh no, どこには呼ぶ燃えるラメコールドポップの愛と嫌いにいる。Oh no, どこには呼ぶ燃えるラメコールドポップの愛と嫌いにいる。I love, I hate the same. Can't you see it in my face? The demon living in disguise, but you can see the killer in my eyes. I've got a look you can't escape. 僕の未来は誰にもわからない。皆は僕をダメなやつと思う。鏡を見つめる僕を見下げているけど中には大きな力希望がある。 Maybe I'm a little young, but you don't know what I become. Can't you see it in my face? A demon living in disguise, but you can see the killer in my eyes. I've got a look you can't escape. You can't escape. No one understood the world that I was making. Look me in the face and tell me I was faking. Maybe I'm a little young, but you don't know what I become. Can't you see it in my face? A demon living in disguise, but you can see the killer in my eyes. I've got a look you can't escape. Have I become a little too shy for love? I've been hurt before. All's fair in love and war. So I'll snuggle up close to the shell I'm living in. And if I let you in, another round begins. No, I'm spinning in a vicious cycle. I'm scared of doing something I'll regret. Maybe this is right, but I'm still staring at your silhouette. What if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? afraid. We found something that'll never fade. We can be ourselves and figure out the rest along the way. What if you're everything I need?
Oh wait, wait, I'm here, but I screwed up. I didn't. I'm revealing the magic right now. Green Pants. It's I didn't. Okay, there we go.
Remember the first day where I was like, the first one that we did, you said,
Yeah.
I said, oh, I don't see the right background, and you're like, you're giving away my magic,
right?
My secrets.
And the magic's been completely revealed now, and there it is. So here we are so back.
You just got the fox,
Right, exactly. It's like the
magic
weather
revealed.
Yeah, the weather person that walks through the the forecast map or whatever.
If you were wearing a green shirt right now,
and I would just be a floating head.
Yeah, it would just be your head. Exactly.
Exactly. Oh, that's great. So hello everyone, we're back. It's that show we love to call Okay Seriously, the place where you ask questions and we give answers. As always, Green Pants, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Vanguard, for having me. It's always a pleasure. 17 times in a row.
17? Oh my god, you're right.
Yeah.
We've done the 17 times now. Wow. Is it getting better?
I have a little X on my calendar for each one. Oh, I have absolutely no idea. I don't know who would watch this, but I just hope we're just here to help people.
I technically don't even watch it, so I don't even know if we're getting better or not.
Yeah. Say, and what does getting better mean anyway?
Right.
I mean,
do you have to say it that way? Maybe I think you need to say evolves. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't necessarily mean always to a good place.
And I think like anything, when you do something, however long you do it, when you go back to look at how you started it, you're going to be embarrassed. Whatever it was.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
It's like when you go watch yourself do anything, you're like, oh my god, that was so terrible.
I can't believe I
even if your current level of skill is not anything to really.
Yeah, you kind of say I'm bad now, but I used to suck worse. You know?
Oh yeah, before holy shit, it was woo.
Wow. I've go back. I've kept every stream I've ever done. So I watched my old original gaming streams from 3 or 4 years ago, and it's horrible. It's
I just have this, so this is.
There you go.
This is the history.
Oh my god! And then it's funny. So
I hope I'm providing enough audio content so that my voice can be completely generated by AI.
Yes, that is my goal as well. We're providing data to the engine. Is a way to look at what we're doing. We could
feed the machine,
feed the AI training algorithm. Yeah, no, I think that's great. So as you know, Mrs. Vanguard and I do our ballroom dancing, and we experience that same phenomenon when we look at old videos of us, and we look at it and we're like, oh my god, like we're embarrassed, it is so bad. We're embarrassed, and people are cheering, they're going yay, and I'm like, no,
of course.
I'm like, stop clapping.
Right.
This is people in video, stop clapping. It's not good.
Right. And
then new people come and they go out for their first solo performance, and they go out and they're like, oh, we're so nervous, and they go out and they're like, oh, you guys are great, and they're like, no, you're just saying that. I'm like, no, we knew what we were like back then. You guys are great.
Yeah.
I'm literally telling you. It's
but they will, no doubt, years from now, go back, look at that, and be like, oh my god, that was terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
If this is something they continue with.
It's the circle of life. Yes.
Yeah.
It's true. All right. Well, we're here to help people, so let's do that. So let's get to our first question if we're ready. So
we have some questions. All right.
For those who are familiar, we have 5 questions curated from our user submissions. Thank you all very much, and we're going to do our best to answer them. At the end of these 5 questions, we will do what's called our speed round. We'll get into that when we get there. So our first question comes from Victor from Santa Claus, Indiana. Victor says, I'm a 25-year-old male, speak 3 different languages fluently, yet I simply don't know how to communicate with others. Whenever I'm in a situation with new people, most of the time when I talk to them, I simply don't know what to say, and my brain just goes numb, and sometimes I don't even pay attention to what they say back because of it. It ends up with most people thinking I'm weird, especially women. What can I do, Victor? What do you think?
Yeah. Well, this is a tough one, because while Victor might speak 3 languages fluently, even written and verbal, I think he's kind of pining for the ladies here, so looking for more of that
There's a
love
slant.
language.
There's a slant to the question.
But okay, the good news is, Victor, there is a rule that is called the 7-38-55 rule, and that is when you are communicating, 7% is what you say, 38% is your tone of voice, and the other 55% is your body language.
Yes.
So that's if you project confidence, especially if you project confidence and have no reason to be confident, which
Yes.
is like very our standard default with guys.
Yes.
You know, I think you'll find yourself being able to I don't know, find the courage to talk to the ladies.
I agree. I agree. I would say though, I think your percentages get adjusted slightly. Like if someone, for example, has some Italian heritage in them, there's a little bit of more flailing and body language.
Right. Or like Portuguese Italian heritage, which is just, I mean, just that, yeah. Like, but body language. I mean, body language being so important. Like if you go to Wendy's and you order a Frosty,
Sure.
but you go to Wendy's and you order a Frosty, but like you do it and like thrust your hips like this while ordering it. Like one implies you're gonna eat it, and the other implies you're gonna fuck it.
Right.
So like meaning can change.
Context is key.
A lot. Yeah. Yeah.
It is.
No,
I think that's great. I think speaking languages has nothing to do with how you communicate. Like, but nice try though on that, Victor. It's
right. Well, I think he's being honest when he's saying like, look, it's definitely not the languages because I speak them fluently.
I see what you're saying.
It is not, because he seems to recognize, he's like, how can this be that I speak 3 languages and I bind up whenever I walk into a room with a woman in it?
Right. And then yeah, I think you were pretty spot on with kind of what you said about the rules there for the verbal and the visual and the body language, right, and that kind of thing. I think but the thing is, like, how do you figure out the situations? And you got to learn how to read a room, right? And the key to that is empathy. Right. So you have to understand the feelings and motivations of the people around you. You have to relate to them. You have to make them feel comfortable around you. Listening is the best form of communication.
One way to do this, Victor, is when you wear these. If you wear a shirt that says "I am Ken Uff," that alone, I think will put some people at ease, and show that you're an ally. It's important.
An ally.
It's important.
For sure. Yeah, women want to be felt at ease around you, right? They don't want you to come across as crass or arrogant or, that kind of thing, or aggressive. Right? Those are all bad things to
Just
convey.
enough.
Just be enough. That's right. Make them laugh. Tell jokes. Learn to be funny. Develop some wit. Things like that.
Experience trauma, wait some time, and you have some humor.
Yes.
That's pretty much all you need.
Exactly. Yeah. People who people you interact with especially when want to feel safe, right, and comfortable around you. That's a big thing. So laughter helps diffuse that and get you to that state, which is great. I've learned this because I clearly cannot get by on my looks, so I had to develop what is called game.
So harsh on yourself, Vanguard.
Well, I acknowledge my positive traits and I acknowledge my negative traits. So
I think we have both aged into fine,
distinguished gentlemen.
Exactly. I'm not wearing my smoking jacket, but yeah. But yeah, don't disparage yourself. But as you said, you got yourself some game.
Yeah, I got game. Yeah, I know how to do the chat, and again, things, read the room, have some empathy, feel the people are around you, relate to people, figure out what they're into, right? So again, I think you communicate best when asking questions, inquiring. Don't sit there and nod your head like a doofus, like
Right. Is it actually saying less is, if you just listen and ask, ask good questions, like you'll find that you don't really have to do a whole lot of talking if you can actually demonstrate that you're actively listening.
Correct. And active listening, that's another key skill that takes a while to develop, right? And that's just like, again, not just sitting there zoning out, right, while you're listening to someone, not absorbing a word they say. Key is too, and there's tricks about this. You could look up stuff like this on the internet if you want.
Oh yeah.
But you would either there's a regurgitation tactic, which basically says like, like, oh, that's big fish. Oh, dude, big fish. And he's like, yeah, now he's like, oh, we're now in a rapport. You know what I mean? Because
Right,
like you're
right.
feeding back what you heard. Like if
Right.
something's unclear, say, wait a minute, I thought you said you knew the student in 8th grade. How did you figure it? You know what I mean? And like, oh, no,
Right,
no,
right,
no, no,
right.
and right? So those are key things that make it feel like, oh, this guy gives a living crap what I'm talking about, and that's awesome.
Right. And if you can trick them into believing that you do that, that's that's the art of the deal right there.
Yes, yes.
Um,
So yeah, Victor, I hope that's
No
summed
idea
up.
why I
Did we
said
cover
that.
everything there? I think we did, right?
I think so. I mean, it's saying how do I talk to people?
Big topic, Victor.
It's general
Big
enough.
topic.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. Oh, so our loyal viewer Super J's here. Hello, Super J. We love
Hi, Super
you.
J.
We love you dearly, not in the biblical sense, or maybe a little, but sorry. I mean, hi. But Super J says enough. Super J says as a good idea of low pressure situations. So create low pressure situations or find those, and then that's where you kind of like practice. You know what I mean? Where it's not like high stakes.
Right. Right. Yeah. Like if you're like in like group social activities where
Right.
there's no necessary need for you to interact, so you can do that at your own pace.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely a good idea.
Yeah, honing it. is
Listen to
definitely
Super
a thing.
J.
It says Super J, and I have a, I don't know. It depends who you ask. My Mrs. Vanguard thinks it's a bad habit, and that I do engage in this tactic a lot of I'm that guy and like sitting in like a waiting room, person next to me. So blah 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 blah. Oh, and often it's received
And you're-
well, but he rolls her eyes a lot when I just start talking to random strangers.
Oh, you're the guy that starts talking to random
That's me.
strangers?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Mrs. Green Pants is the one that talks to the random strangers. I put in earbuds, whether
Yeah.
or not there's even anything in them.
Wasn't that a
And
question
sit
from
in
a
a corner.
That was a question from a previous viewer, wasn't it? They asked about, hey,
Yes.
why do people walk around with
Yeah,
earbuds? Yeah.
And so don't they look stupid or whatever? And it's like, yeah, you wear them. Absolutely.
I like being amongst the people and interacting with the world.
Yeah. You're probably being super annoying.
It's what
I gotta tell
I
you.
know.
Um,
I'm trying
Because
not
when
to.
you're in a waiting room and you're just like, I'm gonna get my cavity filled, and then you have
Right.
this guy come in and be like, hey, what's going on? Wow, oh man, fucking
Right.
a lot of snow out there, huh? You'd be like, oh, dude, I
Cavity
don't.
fills,
Can I?
right.
Did you not see that? I'm sorry, I can't. I'm
I don't
listening to a
wanna.
podcast.
Right.
I'm listening to a very important podcast right
Yes.
now.
Yes. Probably listen to like Three Dog Night or
So,
something.
right, but this is so Mrs. Green Pants does this as well, where when we're walking the dog, she feels the need to say hello to all of the
fellow dog walkers,
passersby.
perhaps.
Yes, and if you take the time to stop and say hello, it may require you to take the time to have some sort of brief conversation.
Yes.
And I don't have that kind of time, so I'd appreciate it.
You consider it
if you
all
just
nonsense.
Go on the
is what you're saying.
walks and just nod and at the people and not get into the habit of talking to them, because sometimes Mr. Green Pants might go without Mrs. Green Pants, and those people are going to expect Mr. Green Pants to talk to them, and he's not
Right.
ever going to talk to them again.
Right.
So
And then that's even worse, because then like if it's like your neighbors, then it's like, oh, she's really nice, but he's such a dick.
these aren't really their name, because this is kind of like a long dog walk and actually goes into a separate town.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Good.
It's don't have time for chit chat.
No
Next question.
idle banter.
All right.
All right, so Victor,
Next
I hope that
question.
helps. Yeah, I think we gave you a lot of ammo there, Victor. So roll with that, man. If you got any follow ups, let us know. We would love to hear from you there. All right, our next question. I was given money. Yay! I'm not sure about the etiquette.
Nice.
My boyfriend lives with his parents. I volunteered to help them on moving day when they were moving into a new house in a different neighborhood. My boyfriend was working, but I wanted to help out. At the end of the day, his mom approached me and gave me $200 to say thank you. I was flustered and uncomfortable as it is a large sum of money, especially when unexpected. I said I couldn't take it and I wasn't expecting payment, but she insisted. Is it appropriate to push further to give it back? Alice from Cookietown, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Alice.
Right. Cookie Town, Oklahoma. Okay. This one super easy. Keep the money, Alice. Full stop. Okay. You definitely do not push back on $200. I can't get out of an Applebee's for less than $200. Okay. So it's really not crazy.
I don't think it's a lot of money. It's really not.
If anything, you should probably send her parents a follow-up bill, because hiring professional movers costs thousands and thousands of dollars, which is why, since time immemorial, people have been tricking their family and friends into helping them by offering them things like pizza and beer. But you actually helped out his parents, and your boyfriend wasn't even there. Right. So you
earned major points.
Actively spent time with them, spent time with his parents, and endured that alone while helping them move. $200 is not nearly enough. It's a testament to your fortitude that you were able to endure all of that.
Absolutely. So, what I would do, Alice,
you are a hero.
Yes.
Alice.
What I would do is take them out to dinner.
What?
Take them out to dinner with your boyfriend. Have a nice dinner out. Offer to pay for the dinner.
That'll be more than $200.
So she's net negative from the
Did you not hear me? What I just said? You can't go to Applebee's
for less than $200. Applebee's.
Take them out to dinner.
Okay, what? Well, maybe you go to Outback and just have all the free bread.
You helped them move. You helped them move, and so now you're gonna take her parents. Your boyfriend lives with his parents. You're not taking them out to dinner. Come on.
That's true. If he lives with the parents, that's true. You're probably both. Yeah, they're keeping things floating.
If so, they'd be like, "Hey, how about take that money that you're paying for dinner and give us rent, or go get rent somewhere else."
Yes.
And find your own place.
Right. For sure. No, you're right. You kind of talked me out of it. That's fine. Yeah. Alice, keep the money. I put a little indicator up above our heads to show that, they should keep the money. Right.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely keep the money.
Yeah, keep the money. It's fine. You did the right thing by offering to give it back and saying, no, I wasn't expecting. Please, I couldn't take it.
Sure.
And she said, no, I insist. That's when it's over. When she says, I insist, conversation is complete. Transaction is done.
Yeah. Pushing back at this point would be inappropriate.
And
rude, it would actually be considered rude, especially with her being his mother and all. Yeah, you just take the money.
Yep. Softball, Alice, but thank you. We appreciate it. We like having those sometimes.
Have half a dinner at Applebee's.
Half a dinner at Applebee's. Half a dinner for $200.
Something like that. What is it? How much does it cost to go to a movie now? $80? Something? I don't know.
Everything surprises me. It's like, I'm like, I paid $25 for a cheeseburger the other day. I'm like, why did I do that?
Exactly. That's ridiculous. And you paid $25 for a cheeseburger that was made by a person who will probably never have health insurance.
Correct.
That is the world that we live in.
Yeah. Welcome to what the wonderful country America.
Yeah. The meritocracy, man.
Oh my god. That's right. Wait, here we go. Let's move on. Number 3.
Okay.
I'm a 30-year-old man who has recently started having night terrors. Ooh. Do you have any hacks or anything to dealing with really vivid nightmares that affect sleep every night? I'm not sure what to do. Any advice is appreciated. This comes from Gustav from Bigfoot, Texas. Gustav having night terrors.
Okay, I don't know about you, but Gustav, I can absolutely help you with this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the reason for your night terrors is largely irrelevant. It was definitely due to some sort of profound psychological, emotion, or physiological trauma.
Yes.
And that could have been like death and destruction in Afghanistan, or that you were forced to watch the Republican response to the Biden State of the Union address. Like, I mean, there was an uptick in schizophrenia diagnoses in the past month since that lady gave that thing.
Could have been married to Katie Britt. And...
Right. Yeah, exactly. But there are several options. Most common one is kind of a no-brainer: alcohol. Consuming lots of alcohol right before bed will stop night terrors.
I heard the reverse.
The downside is all it will do is stop your memory of them. You will still have the night terror, but you just don't remember having it. So if you are in bed with your partner, that person will know that you had a night terror while you might not remember. And then you wake up all
strategy.
headachy and pukey, and
Right.
don't do that.
To start your day, and you have to work.
Yeah. The second most common way is just blunt force trauma to the head. Not recommended. It works inconsistently at best, and lots of side effects. But the answer, and I can tell you, having worked now for over 20 years, smoke a bowl of weed. Marijuana is nature's 100% organic night terror removal system.
There you go.
Like, it is magical. Different blends, definitely maybe a little bit more indica, and a sativa blend will give you a little bit too excitement. So a
Very
bowl,
knowledgeable.
indica, bud, night terror is gone, or at least drastically reduced. I can't promise that they will be gone, but it will help. Vanguard, what drugs do you use to get rid of night terrors?
I do not have the night terrors. Never really had them, so I can't say for sure. I guess maybe I've woken up in a start a few times. I don't know if that's considered a night terror. Not really, when you're doing that flailing, wake up in a rush thing. Maybe over 2 or 3 times in my life, so it hasn't been that.
Oh, you are missing out.
Missing out on the fun.
Yeah.
And I know this is something you struggle with for a long time, so glad you're able to share with Gustav here. This is great. I mean, I was going to recommend not drinking alcohol because it can exasperate.
Yes, do not drink the alcohol. I don't know if that was clear from my point, but the alcohol is actually unhelpful because
the weed.
It just
it's the way to go.
The memory, because it doesn't really help, especially since as far as your brain is concerned, you still had the night terror, and you also filled yourself up with a little bit of poison that day too.
Right.
So.
And your liver thanks you.
Right. It doesn't really. It goes all nuts. Yeah. Your body starts to turn yellow. It's
for sure. I was gonna maybe recommend that you go to a sleep doctor because it may be symptomatic of a sleep disorder. So you maybe have apnea and not realize it. Right. You might not be getting enough sleep.
That could be it too. Yeah.
Be waking up several times during the night. Even do something simple like get one of those watches that can monitor your sleep. Right. Like the one I got, the Galaxy Watch. It can gets you when you're in light, deep, and REM. You know what I mean? You can kind of look at and chart that over time. And says, oh, I'm not getting REM sleep. Interesting. Is that part of my problem? Right. You know what I mean? And then again, sleep doctor can help you maybe address that. So that'd be my recommendation. So I think the weed, and confirm you don't have a sleep disorder. So maybe ask yourself other questions, right? Like you waking up tired? Are you fatigued during the day? Are you have a problem thinking? That kind of stuff may be indicative of a sleep disorder.
And there are actually other drugs you can take as well. Klonopin before bedtime, but that's a benzodiazepine and is highly addictive. Gabapentin is another one. Risperdal, it's an antipsychotic, often can be used to treat night terrors, but none of that stuff works as well. Smoking a bowl of weed. So now that it's legal, that I'm in my 40s, it should be available to you, Gustav. So enjoy and sleep well.
Odds are Gustav. Oh, Texas. No, he can't smoke weed in Texas.
They have go to Austin.
You'll get some weed there. Yeah, it's true. No, I'm saying it's not legal.
Knock on a door.
Knock on any door. I got $40. Can I have some weed? And you'll get some.
Right. Okay. Message us. Message us in the. I can give you the address.
We know a guy.
Right. It's Texas is has no there's no lack of weed there, and you're close to Colorado. Not close, but Colorado is has some of the best. So.
Absolutely, Colorado is a pioneer, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Had the longest to really go.
Right. I was going to ask you about is what do you think? What do you think the deal is with Utah? So, because Utah's a dry state, right? So technically,
no.
I thought it was.
It's not dry. No, we went over this before.
It's partial dry. You cannot buy there, but you can bring. I thought.
No.
Tell me what the rule is.
Utah. No, it's not that weird. Utah is not. It does have some restrictions in Salt Lake City, but it is not run. The state is not completely run by the Mormon Church. So
right.
You can. They have bars, and my sister. My sister went to the University of Utah and
Did she become a Mormon? Did she like wear the
no,
cloth and
no.
with the hole
But
in
what
the
she
sheet?
did say, no, what she did
Was she
say is
handmade?
though, is that uh, because he has so many Mormon friends, one of the things about Mormons is that they believe you can only go to heaven if you are a baptized Mormon.
Correct.
So they've promised her, because she is not Mormon, that when she dies, they will seek her out and baptize her posthumously so that she can get to heaven.
Like
Because
you have to do it to the
she
body, or you have to do it to like the
yes,
spirit in the afterworld.
if you I don't know. I didn't look at the golden plates in the hat Joseph Smith had.
They
But
were buried in upstate New
apparently,
York by the Jews
right, exactly. And they came over in a wooden submarine.
1,000 years
But
before anyone
so
ever saw in Europe,
yeah,
ever
so
saw North America.
let's
It's
just say the
absurd.
Book of Mormon is a little bit suspect. It's not, it's not a great source.
I'm
But
I'm not always big on trash on religion, but like I've never been a big fan of religion. I've never been
Mormonism is a
trashing it.
cult.
Mormonism, I'm okay trashing because it's really freaking
Right.
weird. It's
No,
like,
oh
the
no,
premise
well,
of it's absurd.
It's also the Mormon Church is responsible for a lot of really bad stuff,
Yes.
happening in families and stuff, and
Agreed.
a lot of covered up abuse,
Yes.
polygamy, a lot. Just it's pretty gross.
And you know what got bad when
So-
they call it, like, they call themselves LDS now. They don't call themselves Mormons anymore because they're trying to like
right. Well,
even they
they wanted-
acknowledge they're like, okay, we got to put this behind us and
They want to be the Church of Latter-day Saints because that's like, isn't that the Mormon?
Mormons. So, like,
'cause
you're not
that
fooling us.
sounds-
We know it's Mormons. Stop it. Stop fooling us.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. How do I get on Mormons? Oh, here's my question. Utah. Going back to Utah.
Mhm.
So do you think all right, fine. So you're right. But there are restrictions on alcohol that don't exist elsewhere in the country.
Right. I mean, certain states are that
Do you
way
think-
with
right.
certain states. I mean, Massachusetts had a lot of blue laws up until, the last
That's
like
true.
20, 30 years. There was
That's
a lot
true.
of,
It's all those
can't buy on
Irish
Sunday.
Catholics, yeah.
Right. Those kind of,
Influence. But I
bullshit
guess that's what I'm
laws,
saying
but-
about Utah. Like, do you think, like, what do you think the weed culture is in Utah? That's the question.
Well, I mean, from what my sister said, she's like the college wasn't a whole lot different than
Normal
because a lot of people are from out of state and everything else. So in Salt Lake, while it's not like it doesn't have a real party scene and like the bars close earlier because I think they don't nothing stays open till like 2 a.m. Maybe they close at like 11 or something, 10 maybe even. But it still exists. It's just and the Mormon people. There's a lot of Mormons who are like Mormons for their family, but they still smoke weed and drink because they're kind of because they're just casual Mormons because that's what their family is and they couldn't give a shit.
Casual drinkers, casual Mormons.
Right. Or it's like you just say it because they're like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, my family's Mormon type of thing.
So, good stuff. I
they
never
probably
took
don't wear the underwear.
Right. We never took a divergence there, but smoke some weed and check if you have
We
any
often
sleep
do.
disorders. Go see a professional and get yourself evaluated for sleep disorders. And smoke some weed before you go to bed. And there you go. That's our recommended fix. And I think that's pretty solid. So I think hopefully that helps you out. Good luck. Okay, so number 4. Let's see. This comes from Violet from Frankenstein, Missouri. I've been married to my husband for 20 years. He's always been the scapegoat of his family. I've witnessed his parents treating him terribly for 2 decades. 2 months ago, we got into a big fight with them because they were pushing my husband to do something he didn't feel comfortable doing. So they completely ignored his recent birthday. His mom seems to enjoy isolating him from the rest of the family. I put years of effort into having a distant but friendly relationship with them, and they still don't treat us with respect. I'm looking for advice on how to navigate the hurt I feel from this and watching my husband treated so badly by his own parents, asks Violet.
Okay, Violet, you've come to the right place. I feel you, and I think I can help you out. The first thing that you need to realize is that you are at war. You may not have even realized that you're at war, but you've been at war for 20 years. And your husband probably doesn't know it either, but you guys are suffering from you basically have a condition called like your spouse's family is a fucking bunch of assholes. And so if you your husband most likely does not even realize the depths to which his parents are like still like psychologically harming him by their bullshit, especially as you mentioned with the, birthday present and all that. And so I can understand your desire to be like friendly but distant, and wanting to be treated with respect. I mean, all humans deserve dignity and respect.
Yes.
But I can tell you, this family of assholes, you're never going to get it from them. So you don't even try. So what you got to do, first step, is to get on the same page as your husband, because you're going to need to coordinate battle plans. Okay? Because again, as I said, this is a war. Contrary to popular wisdom or belief, you and your husband don't owe his family anything.
Correct. You're
Nothing.
not beholden to them.
They are not entitled to his time, your children's time. And it seems like his mom is like the ringleader of this little like asshole posse. So you got to start with her. She wants to isolate him. Fuck that. Isolate her. She's probably one of those moms that has like the keys to everything, and wants to have all the information. Steal the keys, Violet. Like, flip the script on her. Because if you can work with your husband to coordinate making outside connections with other members of the family and slowly block her out, it will infuriate her, and it will be the greatest time of your life. So I think you can also. I mean, I'm telling you about it. This could be a positive thing. So, something that I recommend, especially with the mother-in-law. Okay, do not treat her as a serious person ever. Okay, you cannot treat her as a serious person. You have to treat her as if she's just some sort of like ridiculous caricature. So, and
a mockery of a mother-in-law.
Right. So you can be friendly, but what you need to do is when she says something or negative, whatever, you just sort of laugh at her, and then she'll get really mad, and so then just kind of like point and laugh at her. So I would say the more that you make her feel absurd, the more angry she will get, and the more likely she has to maybe have a stroke, and then you're all done with all this. So
that's an approach for sure. A war resulting in your mother-in-law's death.
And even if it doesn't, just being in the battle and being with your husband, if you can get him to understand like the psychological harm that his family is doing, because there is an impetus that people feel that they have to be connected to their family, even if their family is terrible to them. Family can be an absolutely wonderful thing, but it can also be a very damaging thing if you just allow yourself to be steamrolled by your family and feel that you have to go to functions because it's a family thing. You don't. So, try to set some boundaries. If they can't do them, if they crash right through them, turn this lady on its head, and I want you to report back and tell me how it goes.
It would be nice to hear back from how it does go after that. But I was going to recommend setting boundaries is the key, right? I'm curious to find out, like, did your husband grow up? Did this ononly happen in his adult life? Did they turn this way? You know what I mean? Or did he like grow up in this environment?
He grew up this way.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is probably a situation where she is coming in fresh, and listen, let me just say, I know. Okay, trust me on this. I know a guy.
I defer.
Anyway.
Are you Violet's husband? Okay.
No, but more than likely, this is behavior that was probably going on, and it's just like it was very much normalized in your husband's life when he was young. Maybe
right.
He was like always made like the scapegoat, or
he
people just make fun of him, or they
he doesn't know anything else. If this has been his whole life,
Right, exactly. As I said, it's been normalized. So you're going in there and are like, what the hell? Like, this person is like, but I love this person. Why is his own family treating him like shit?
Right.
And then you realize, oh, because they fucking suck. And so there's you who actually like the person, and then there's these people who you watch hurt the person, And so, of course, you get angry, you get frustrated. So what you need to do is team up with your person, because you guys are a team, and point that failings back toward the family.
Sure.
Again, I'm taking the extreme view.
Yeah, no, I see that. Hey, I respect that. That's all good. That's okay. Again,
This seems like an extreme case because she's saying that
pretty distraught over this.
yeah, exactly. I mean, she does not want to speak to them anymore. So
I mean, it's getting the husband on the same page, and Violet didn't really get into that, but that might be a struggle. If he has been going through this all his whole life, right? He probably feels beholden to it, especially to his mother. Is typically how it goes. He feels beholden to his mother, so being able to set boundaries.
But you don't have to be
foreign. True, but for him to set boundaries on his own mother might be a very foreign concept to him. He might not know how to do that, or might not want to do that.
But
so.
you try to help him do it, and she will maybe, and I'd be if saying maybe if you want to take the more gentle Vanguardian approach, perhaps have a conversation, and talk it out, communicate, blah 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 blah.
With your husband first, clearly, and say, dude, like, do you think that what they do to you is normal? And just sort of like get him on the same page of, this is not okay.
Just give him some examples.
Right.
Yeah, feed him back some examples of stuff that you've seen, and just say it from your perspective as you're watching it.
Exactly.
And he might start to dawn on him like, oh, right, that is
fucked up.
Awful.
Right.
Yeah,
this is horrible.
But they're just like that. Or he's always been that way.
Well, he sees in theory,
and he's always sucked.
Right.
So
exactly.
And now that you're 40, you don't have to hang out with your mean older brother if you don't want to.
But the since they've been married so long, clearly her family is known to him, right? So he now has an example of hopefully a more normal interaction and relationship, right? So it
Violet,
sounds
like her family doesn't suck.
Look, this is how it's supposed to be. So he has that reference, that basis. So yeah, and then once you get him understanding that this isn't okay, it's a matter of setting boundaries and having that communication. And going to his mother's like, look, Mom, I don't like the way you talk to, I'm gonna call him Bob like that. I don't think it's fair to him, and it makes him feel uncomfortable, and I don't want to hear it. It's my husband.
And then she will take her bags and she will leave the house with both of the grandchildren just there, and get on an airplane, and the kids will have no idea what happened.
That's right.
And be very confused.
That's right. Just cry.
Because that's how that situation ends twice.
Twice. Oh boy.
My friend.
Yes. So Violet, yeah. So it get him on the same page as your husband, and then you got to set the boundaries and put his foot down. And really, if they're not going to respect the boundaries, or they just blow you off or laugh and stuff, I mean, I wouldn't do what Green Panther was suggesting about the pointing and laughing, although that may have some effect. But call her out on her bullshit whenever she says it. Like she says, "Oh, Bob."
I mean, the pointing and laughing is just an example, but
right.
But yeah, Bob, just don't take them seriously.
Right.
Like when they're angry, but they're not they're just completely ridiculous. Just act like they're being ridiculous, and you can't take it seriously, especially because it's pretty easy when they're being totally ridiculous.
Right. It's like, oh, Bob, you're like, if his mother says something like, oh, Bob, you've always been, a total wuss, you're so timid. And maybe you say something like, well, you raised him. What does that say about you? Right.
Or, maybe, hey, I can see that you're still in 1950s, stereotype
June
mode.
Cleaver.
Have you read a book?
Right. Or you could say or even something small like, okay, June Cleaver, right? And then
right.
Sort of leave it at that. Dated reference, but there it is.
Very dated, yeah.
Very dated. It actually predates us. We're not that old, but we are aware. But no, don't even go there. I swear to God. I was not alive when Leave the Beaver came on the TV.
I didn't. Okay, question 5.
Question 5.
Let's move on to question 5.
Question 5. Okay, Caitlin from 56 Arizona says, I'm a 25-year-old single woman. A man I met through a mutual friend spent 5 months pining after me. and eventually I let him take me out. Since then, he introduced me to his entire friend group, his family, brothers, grandparents, cousins, aunts, and so on, invited me to his graduation. Now, 2 months later, he suddenly says, I don't want anything serious right now, but that's good for you because you can have a hoe phase. What does that even mean? Why are men so awful? Wow.
Yikes.
Wow. So,
what that means is that guy's a dick.
Caitlin, right.
And guys are awful.
He spent 5 months pining after you. No, he spent 5 months trying to have sex with you, and once he had that, he was no longer interested. And yes, that makes men horrible. But some
and we
guys
don't
do
necessarily know that it was sex, but I agree with Vanguard that he was after the chase,
Yes.
and whatever that was that he felt he accomplished,
Right.
it's like he showed you as his proud trophy. Sorry
Yes.
to say to everybody. You were like the girlfriend in Canada, but actually real. So like you just existed for a time. You could be like see, and then he's like, "Okay, all set."
Yep.
So he wants all the perks, no commitment. Sorry about the whole Y chromosome. It does come with a lot of toxic qualities.
I feel a lot of guilt
with the
about that
ability to.
sometimes. You know, I can only control my own Y chromosome, can't control the Ys of the others.
Right. Well, yeah, you shouldn't have. It's unfortunate we have to apologize for our gender, but all we can do is what we're,
Men can be horrible. Learn to. Well, I don't know.
Right.
What's the advice? All right. So clearly, this guy's a dick. Clearly,
Right.
he just wanted to
Okay.
sleep with her. Clearly, he was just trying to get the chase and the trophy and the accomplishment checked off and saying, "Yep, bang this chick, boom, kind of done." Not that interested in her.
Yep.
What's the general advice? How does Caitlin avoid these situations in the future?
Okay. Well, the best way that you do it is, this guy's probably, younger man. They do this. What you have to do is find yourself an older man who's empathetic, can, as we've talked about before, can actively listen. Someone like myself or Vanguard, like just an attractive older man who understands, depth and emotional intelligence. And I think you can, if you seek there, you might find yourself a true life partner.
Okay. Send pictures. No, I'm kidding. So it
How old is Caitlin? Oh shit, is this a child?
25.
Oh, wait, hold on.
25.
Wait, you
She's
didn't
not a
okay.
child.
Oh, thank you.
25.
Woo!
Okay. Yeah, I don't necessarily agree. Like older man thing, maybe, right? Not that I'm knocking that. There's definitely some possibilities there. But what I was gonna say is, I think Green Pants hit it when you said emotional intelligence. You want a man with a high EQ, and there are things you can do to determine if someone has a high EQ early in the relationship. And if they don't have it, sets out the warning flags, and you GTFO.
And one warning flag is if they tell you that you can have a hoe phase.
Right.
That boop, flag,
Yeah.
like that should definitely.
Like, am I being too? I might be being like overly critical or biased or something, but like just reading that, like the first thing I think of is this dude was a frat boy. Is that like stereotypical frat boy? You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
It is.
Is that wrong of me to think that way?
No. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, yes, it's a stereotypical thing of fraternities, because fraternities run the gamut widely from being
I'm thinking
awful
the traditional,
to being horribly awful.
Yeah, I'm thinking like the traditional like beta house or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
jocks and
Absolutely.
The
Yeah.
kind of dudes.
Yeah. All of those guys have the factory default guy setting of toxic masculinity.
Correct.
Like, and have not attempted to have any growth whatsoever.
Yes.
And have in fact would punish others for seeing any growth, and that's how they keep themselves all at the same level as the Cro-Magnon.
Toxicity. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Right.
Absolutely. So yeah, Caitlin, identifying men with low EQ and then they're toxically masculine, right? You want to avoid those dudes like the plague, no matter how hot they are. It ain't worth it.
Stay out of fraternities. Stop going to fraternity parties. You're 25.
25. Move on.
Come on.
Stop living in college. No, that's presumption.
I don't know
our
what's
part.
going
We
on in
can't say that.
56 Arkansas,
We're
but
just presuming.
no, you're 25. Come on. What are you doing? Just get out of fraternities.
Yeah, so we
Find
hope,
yourself an older guy.
we hope, Caitlin, that you can do that. Find yourself a man with a high emotional intelligence. That is the key. Not experience these behaviors. That's hard to do,
Someone
actually. Not
older.
many men are highly emotionally intelligent.
No, that
It's
is true.
Sort of a societal thing that discourages us from being so. You know what I mean? Which isn't right, but
Right. So you sort of, yeah, you have to like kind of like actively work at it, but
you do.
yeah.
A message to men out there: shake off the stereotypes of society. Be an emotionally intelligent man. Be decent to women. Stop treating them like shit. Don't look at them as just objects. God damn it, get your shit together. There you go.
The more you know.
One to grow
Right.
on. There you go. So, Caitlin, good luck. Tell us about, you know what might be good, Caitlin? Actually, the next guy you think about dating, write back and tell us about him, and we'll tell you whether you should date him or not.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, just you drop us a line. I want to see how this goes. You know.
All right, sounds good. All right, let's see what is going on. Oh, time for speed round.
Oh, okay. Speed is
It's
me,
you.
right?
Yeah, it's you. You're up this
Okay.
time because I had to deal
Right.
with some question about what the hell was it, like the weird foods and actors
Right.
crushes.
Oh,
or
yeah,
whatever
yeah,
it
yeah,
was,
yeah. Yeah. Phoebe Cates.
What did I
And
say?
yours
You said
was.
Phoebe Cates. What
You
was
said
mine?
Linda Carter.
Linda Carter. That's true. But you know what I thought about it since then, and like what's her name? Alyssa Milano. Oh God, so gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, but she was almost in our own demo. Like, I mean, just
I think
only
she's
a
our age.
few
I think
years.
That's true.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's not like a childhood crush. I'm
Oh, I see
thinking
what
of,
you're saying.
you know,
Right.
even though, yeah,
But that doesn't mean I
Phoebe
can
Cates
watch.
is like in her 60s now, so it's like it's like
I see
who
what you're
was,
saying.
you know,
But if I watch Who's the Boss today,
why would you do that?
is it bad to have the crush on Alyssa Milano?
It's bad to watch Who's the Boss.
Go back to the beginning.
all.
Bad to watch Who's the Boss.
Yeah, just stop doing that.
Yes.
Go watch Charmed. Watch Charmed. It's a lovely show.
Is it actually good? I've never seen it.
I don't know. I
Okay.
don't watch.
I knew you didn't watch it.
I don't.
Charmed.
I,
Charmed. All right, here we go. Because
Alright,
what's her
we're the
name
five
was in that too?
questions.
Shannon Doherty, who also I kind of had a thing for a
yes,
while. So hot,
yes.
Shannon Doherty. Oh my god.
I never had a thing for her.
Really? You're lying.
No, I am absolutely not lying. Everybody on that 90210 show, because in college that was on downstairs, and the in the dorm that I was in, there was a television downstairs, and whenever 90210 would come on, that was always on, and then all the girls from the second floor would come down and watch it, or many of them would.
Looks Luke Perry was
And,
freaking hot. Right?
I mean, I guess, but the show was just so awful
It was
that,
banal.
and all the characters were so annoying that you kind of grew to just so Kelly, Brenda, all of them were just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Tori Spelling, like yikes.
It really,
Yeah,
it
was
literally
all-
epitomized like the pretentiousness of like high school dramas. You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, this horrible thing. I'm like, you're in high school. Like,
right.
get over yourselves. It's like, this thing you're dealing with is not a thing. It's
I mean, it's also an Aaron Spelling production, so
That's fair.
you know, I mean, yeah,
That's
and
fair.
it made a lot of money. So
That's
yeah,
fair.
it's. I mean, as I said, it was
did
a
make a lot of
popular
money,
show,
that's true.
but it did not. But as a result, that is why I, in particular, never had a thing for Shannon Doherty.
There you go. Yeah, Super J is all about Team Dylan. Dylan was the Luke Perry character, I believe. Yes, I think so. Who was the Jason
Yes.
Priestley character? His name was Jason Priestley.
Okay, I have no idea.
Brandon. Yes.
Brandon.
Super J confirmed. Brandon.
Brandon. Something you want to be proud of, sure.
I remember that I kept room in my
Yeah,
brain
okay,
to hold
good for
that
you,
name.
man. Yeah, good thing you have a little portion of your disk drive up there has
Oh my
Brandon
God.
in there now.
And then what's his name? Ian. What's his name? Blonde guy.
Ian,
Zerling.
Ziegler,
Yeah.
Zerling.
Yeah. He went on.
Why
to
are we doing this?
He went into the because for some reason I
What
thought
are the 5 questions?
I thought of Sharknado for some
Give
reason.
me the
because I
5
remember
questions.
that he was in
Stop
Sharknado.
talking. Stop talking about Ian
I
Zarin and
know,
Sharknado.
too. It's like a where are they now? Cast of 90210. All All right, 5 questions. All right, here we go. So for those who aren't familiar, I'm gonna rapid fire 5 questions to Green Pants,
Right.
and he's gonna answer them to the best of his ability within 1 minute. So, and then we'll do a little unpack after, sort of dive into these. And as usual, Family Feud rules. The timer will start after the first question is read. Green Pants, are you ready?
Yep.
Excellent. Would you rather sing out of tune or not have any rhythm?
That's a true question. I'm white. We don't have rhythm.
Okay, so you pick the rhythm. What's the worst gift you ever received as a kid?
A hardcover book of Christian Bible stories that my mom tricked my grandmother into buying me when I was 7 for my birthday.
Got it. What's the first significant thing you bought with your own money? Ooh.
A full quarter-pound of weed, like good weed, not sticks and stems.
What?
Like, you actually had money.
If you were a drag performer, what would your drag name be?
Oh, Sigourney Beaver. Wilma Titsgrow.
What's the worst advice you followed and later sorely regretted?
There's no such thing as a bad blowjob.
And we're good there. Perfect. All right, nice. Don't touch thing. Oh boy. Yeah, let's unpack this bad boy. Okay, so, don't touch things a bad blowjob. Right. We've learned.
There is. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
No, I
There is.
yeah, no, I know this
Full stop.
story, and I think
Just so
you're
we
right.
don't. Let's not. Just
No, we don't have to. I'm just saying there is. Just trust us that there is. It is a thing that can happen. For sure. Okay, drag performer Wilma Titsgrow, I think was your
Wilma Titsgrow. I like that.
yeah.
Tasha Salad. I'm trying to think of.
Mine wasn't anything too funky. Mine was kind of like Phoebe Monroe. That's kind of what I think mine would be.
Oh, like Fibonacci sequins.
Ooh. I may have a new favorite.
Yeah, Fibonacci sequence. Yeah.
Boom. See on the runway with that kind of name.
As opposed to old ones like genitalia, you know.
Yeah, no, it's too
Yeah.
overdone. It can't be too in your face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's got to have that
Right.
little subtle flick to it. No, I
Yeah.
agree. No, that's great. That's awesome. Significant thing about your money, weed was the first thing you bought with your own money. So
Yeah,
this
like
was
being
like
able to buy inequality and having the ability to be like, okay, I have this amount of money,
Mhm.
I have a connection, and I'm going to bring this in, and I am no longer going to have a supply problem on a weekly basis because I have my own money and I have this full amount of weed that now I am set
Yes.
for at least more than a week.
where did you?
So,
what
that
was
was
the source
awesome.
of money? Was it like an allowance? Like how old were you in this?
Job. No, it wasn't
Oh,
a
you
lot.
were. So you were at least 14, 15, 16.
I wasn't
around there.
buying weed when I was 8.
I'm just, that's what I'm wondering. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean,
So 15,
come on,
16
man.
probably.
No, not that I even bought. I'm saying like a real, yeah, like 17. Yeah, probably.
Reasonable. You had a job. You did what 17-year-olds do. No one's judging.
I think you're judging a little bit.
I did. I judged. But now I'm taking back my judgment.
can feel it.
And I'm like, no,
I can
it
feel it
did.
right
I didn't. The vibe went out before I could bring it back, but I bring it
Listen,
back.
if I didn't have those
I was shocked.
experiences, I wouldn't have been able to help Gustav with his night terrors.
It's an
So-
excellent point.
You know?
Everything's
Fuck
for a
you.
reason. You bought that weed with your own money just so you could be there for Gustav today. Hey, and I hope Gustav appreciates that. I know I do. So, worst gift ever received as a kid. I think ours are very similar in this regard. So that was like, what would you say it was?
Oh.
Bible?
It was because I remember the story because my grandmother was so furious because my grandmother was cool, my mom not.
Not cool.
So
Yeah, and when you say grandmother, you mean your mom's mom.
no, my dad's mom.
Your dad's mom, okay.
Dad's mom. So Grandma Green Pants, awesome, and she would always made a big thing of being like, whatever the kids want, that's fine. You want like donuts for breakfast, you know, we're gonna go to Carvel ice cream,
Right.
you know, whatever they want for their birthday, like
Carvel.
just get it. It's don't, you know, let's not make this into like a learning experience. and so like don't get them a science kit unless they really want it, type of thing. So so my grandmother went with my mom and I wherever they were, there was this book of like an illustrated book of Bible stories that was something that like my grandmother pretty much knew. No way is Stephen gonna want this, or little Mr. Green Pants. So what happened was, so she tricked my grandmother and basically said like, no, this is something he really wanted. I promise. He came in here, he saw that, and his eyes lit up.
So she lied.
And he, yes, totally lied about a Bible book. And so, and then I opened it, and my face, let's say, perhaps crestfallen.
How old were
Might be
you?
a way you could describe it. 7.
Impressionable.
So the only reason I know this is because my grandmother was there, and I opened it, and she saw that I was not happy about it, and like just in my expression was like, oh, like thanks, Graham, whatever, and she was pissed. So she came to me and told me the story and was like, we are going to go, I'm going to buy you something else.
A real gift.
And yes, and we...
Bless that woman.
Yeah, oh, totally. She was awesome.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
So,
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So the
That's why I always remember that story, because she was like, your mom tricked me. And I was like, yeah, she does that. I'm 7.
Yeah, right. Deceived. And then the sing out of tune or no rhythm. You said you don't have rhythm anyway, so you would go with the no rhythm, I guess. You have rhythm. You've done music.
No, I would but like I'd rather have my singing voice than not have in rhythm, in terms of, because I actually enjoy using the singing voice, at least sometimes. So the whereas while I might have rhythm, it is not something I necessarily like. As you with dancing, I am not.
Right. I would go the other way. I'd keep the rhythm.
Yeah, you have to go the other way,
you
right?
Can
Exactly.
at least dance rhythm,
right?
And you can play the drums,
right?
And
yeah, you don't have to say it. You can dance. You don't have to say anything,
right?
Yeah.
And if you play an
guitar
or something, you just. But my guitar, I'm a rhythm guitarist guy anyway.
Right.
Speed.
Yeah.
So that'd be more important to me. Cool. Hey, what have you been singing lately?
Singing a lot with my daughter, because she has a chorus teacher who basically is one of those ones where the chorus is like all of 7th grade,
Wow.
And
whether they want to be there or not, kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of, and the teacher like just picks a couple of her favorites and does that, and so she doesn't get she doesn't get the opportunity to really sing a lot. So been working with her with that to just we're probably going to get a singing teacher, a singing coach for her.
That is awesome,
because that is something that she wants to pursue. So
that is fantastic. I think all parents out there highly encourage your children to do something musical, whether it's sing or dance or play an instrument.
Especially if they show an aptitude for it, if they're interested in it.
Totally.
So
Totally.
So,
By the path for them.
This is something that she asked for and all that. So going through pitch and music and all that kind of stuff is
awesome.
The different parts, but alto, baritone, tenor, like the different lines of music,
harmonizing,
right? Exactly, and what that means, and
what kind of music they have doing 7th grade chorus.
It's kind of all over them. I mean, I never know what to expect when you go. They're kind of like all over the map. Most of them are like unless it's the holiday show, then it's just like the old classics and stuff, and then the spring shows are generally like new like choral renditions of like pop songs, but
that's
like
good, though.
pop
That's
songs.
What I was gonna hope it was. Yeah, that's nice. Because then the kids get into it. You know what I mean? They get behind it.
Yeah,
excited about it.
But some of them are some of the arrangements of pop songs. The problem is the choral arrangement requires a very good chorus, because the choral arrangements are difficult. So those a cappella groups and stuff are, I mean, if you have a bunch of those people that are, but if you've got a group where you've got like 5 or 6 people singing out of key,
Right.
the whole thing falls apart. Like
Yeah.
you can't, even if everybody else is perfectly fine. So like it just never really works. So yeah, they it's always a butchering.
That's awesome.
You know.
I'm glad she's continuing the tradition. That's fantastic. Always a butchering. It's gotta be better than like watching
Okay.
a recorder concert, right? From grade
Well,
3 or
well, I
whatever.
remember when I was a kid, it was the chorus we always did. It was like show tunes from like the 50s,
I know.
from like, those
Bye
were
Bye
the-
Birdie and
from,
stuff
from,
like that. It's like
anything goes. Yeah.
Honestly,
76
that's
trombones led the
probably-
big parade.
right. Honestly, it's probably like the only music they could have afforded. You know what I mean? Full budget or something.
Right. It's probably like public domain or whatever, or
Ugh, shame.
What was the worst advice you've had that you were getting?
Oh, worst advice Worst advice
yeah,
I
what was-
followed.
what would've been-
Worst advice that I followed and then later regretted.
Right.
Yeah. What's my worst advice? Wow. Thinking about that one. Probably I've done stupid shit that people told me to do. What's the worst thing? Trying to think. There's a couple different cases. I mean, I
Hey, try this Ballistic Black. It's really good.
yeah, that was definitely one of them. That's one of the ones that I was gonna pop off when. Yeah, this is back when I drank. I don't drink anymore, but the my friends
It was a very short window.
were encouraging me. Yeah, were encouraging me to take these shots. Ballistic Black is a 101 proof peppermint schnapps, black peppermint schnapps, and I was just doing
One of the
shot
best.
after shot after shot. After like 20 minutes, I was doing a shot every 20
Not
minutes.
recommended.
Not recommended.
Yeah.
I threw up for 5 hours straight. I think it was. Eventually threw up blood. I was gonna die. Not good. And I did drink after that a couple times. It wasn't regular. Then sometime after that, I
Right.
said, I'm not gonna do this.
Yeah, that was
anymore."
pretty much you
That
were all
was-
set.
That was the beginning of the downhill of the no more drinking thing.
Yeah. And some
was
of
the
us
one.
remember that you were in the bathrooms for so long that some of us had to pee out your window.
Right, I do remember
but-
that as well. I couldn't.
Well, you
like,
don't remember it.
I remember it, but I remember laying on the bathroom floor after vomiting repeatedly and laying there and having you guys knock on the door wanting to come into the bathroom. And I'm like, oh, I should definitely go out and let them in. And I'm like, I can't physically get up and I can't reach the knob, right?
Right.
And I'm like, that's a problem because I had this natural habit. As soon as I walk in, as I close the door, I lock the bathroom because I'm afraid of, obviously,
Yes, you do.
ninjas, as one does, right?
Right.
So,
They are known to burst in while you're on the toilet. That
yes,
is
and you
it's
don't want to be caught literally with your pants
the
down.
minute, literally, yeah. That's when they hit you. That's
Right.
every time. Yeah. I hear
So
you.
yeah, so I'm sitting there and I was thinking quite clear at the time, like, oh, I locked the door as I normally do, and I'm like, oh, I can't get up, and I'm gonna die in here because I cannot open this door and people cannot get in here, and I'm gonna die. So that would have been that, but I didn't die.
We could have made it to the door. Yeah,
It was
but you were,
bathroom
since you
doors,
kept talking to us, you were okay.
I kept indicating I was okay.
The minute if we just had silence, the door was getting open.
Then the door could right one way or another the door would be open. Yeah, no, I get it. Yes,
It was not a challenging
that was great. That was a fun party
thing
actually.
for several people to find to figure out how to do.
That was a fun party.
Several engineers could figure out.
Yeah. If
a
any
way
of my
to
friends
open
are
a door.
watching, I apologize if you had to pee in a in an
Out a
incriminating
window.
location. Yeah, my bad on that. Sorry about that. But otherwise, I thought it was a pretty fun time. Except for the gratuitous vomiting. Fun.
Yeah.
So
Sorry
yeah,
about
so
that.
that
I
was
had to do
definitely a
that.
big one. The advice, yeah. The other one, what was the other one? I'm trying to think of another one. It was like I mean, my father gave me some bad advice. I'm trying to think. It was like about stuff like just general stuff like, oh, always look out for yourself first, and don't worry about anyone else, and
Like-
which is bad advice. It doesn't make you a
Or
good.
like, oh, yeah, like bad advice I got from like my parents was like, there has to be a leader of the household, like
Right.
as the
it's
male.
a very traditional role, right?
And it's
of
something
the
that was
household.
like yes, there's a partnership, but there has to be the final say, and that's the man.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
they firmly, and even when I was like in high school and stuff, and I was like, that's not
Not right.
normal now.
Yeah.
Like that's
Not how we
even
do it.
like
It's not
yeah,
how we
but they
do
were
it.
just like, it was like, no, that is because
How it's
how can it work any way else? I think people have done it.
Well, honestly, I think your mother's behavior since your father passed has proved that was needed. Perhaps too.
Perhaps.
I mean,
Uh, my mother's behavior could take up several volumes,
yes.
and I'm not sure. You would have to go through the DSM-5 and to try to just you know check off all of this stuff because there's a lot.
Yep.
So
Yep. For sure. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're all bad advice. But you know what? It's learning, right? We learn from it. People give us shitty advice, and we learn A, not take advice from those people anymore. And then B,
Right.
we do something stupid and we learn. Hopefully it doesn't kill us, and then we grow
Right.
and move on. Don't do stupid things in the future.
See, the problem is the people who double down and won't learn and
Right.
just keep doing the same thing
Right.
over and over again, or just going into the echo chamber and yeah.
And the universe
Because,
does not care if you keep failing. You could scream at it all you want. It's
Yep.
an uncaring
Just-
universe. It'll just
Yep. Maybe stop telling people the story about the guy with the hat in the plates. It didn't happen. Okay, it's not real. Let's not. It's all dumb, made up. It's
Made up.
ridiculous,
fabricated.
completely ridiculous.
Oh, thing.
Literally known as a fraud and a charlatan in his time, Joseph Smith. Like Joseph Smith, charlatan and
Right.
fraud
Right. If there was an internet.
before anything happened.
Yes. If there was an internet,
And they're still sticking with it.
you would have been still sticking with
Hundreds
it.
of years later.
It's
going
almost
for
it's
it.
almost an obligation
It's
now. You
unbelievable.
can't, you can't back out now. It's been know what I
Don't know
mean?
how they do it. I don't know how the Scientologists do it either. Like, how,
I don't
because we know about Xenu and all the aliens and all that stuff now, and so
I
they
know.
have to be like, yeah, that's right, body thetans.
I know.
You know,
When was the
Yeah.
do you know, I know you're a little up on the Mormon, when did they say the plan of the tablets? Like when did those, like supposedly those tablets, like 586 BC, that's when they say it was, according to the
Right.
Book of Mormon. So
right? And the Book of Mormon talks about literally those plates
Yes.
came over in submarines
yes.
made of wood.
made by the
That-
Jews escaping Babylon in 586 BC, when people are still banging stones together and like barely making stuff out of
Making
bronze,
submarines.
right? In submarines.
Making and one of the funniest things is
Going from
I always found
all the way to North America. From Africa.
and if anyone can tell me this, because in the Book of Mormon, the line is actually that the subs were tight as a dish, and
Oh, I
I've
did
never
not
been
know
able to
that.
know what that means. No, I still don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Like because it's
As a
something that's in the
dish.
Book of Mormon that I don't think anyone really knows. I'm not sure.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's just it's absurd. I mean, I'm sorry if you're it's pretty culty, right?
Yeah, it's a cult.
Yeah.
So yep.
So yeah, we diverge back into Mormonism. Huzzah!
Somehow directs back to the Mormons.
Brings us right
you know?
back.
I don't know how they do it.
Just bring us back in.
With it. You know, they got me addicted to Big Love, and
Oh my
here I
God.
am, all these
Here
years
we are.
later.
That's right. That's right. All right. Very good. Well, that's it. We've done it all. We've said it all, at least about this week's topics. So
Yep.
hopefully we
I
provided
think
some help.
I think we helped some people.
I think we did.
You know.
I think we did.
And if not, maybe we helped ourselves
Minimum, we helped ourselves.
at minimum.
Right? So at least we helped 2 people, which is nice. So we're excited about that.
I feel better.
I-
This is great.
I do as well. I feel like we've done our part to make the world a little better place. And that's
Yeah.
what we
So
have to
actually, you're welcome.
do. So funny. You're welcome. So in any case, so we're gonna sign off. So we'll be here again next Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be answering 5 questions again from our wonderful viewers. So please send in those questions. The submission question form, if you are on Twitch, is below Green Pants. Look at the link down there. Click the link, fill out the
In
Google
here?
form
Things are
question.
similar.
You can fill it out anonymously if you wish, and you can have your question read online, and we will answer it, and we'll try to help you. If you come on to chat and watch the broadcast live, we will even give you live feedback if you have further follow-up questions. There's another win. Bonus time. So,
Absolutely.
so that's it. So until next time, you know what I mean? Green Pants, always a pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Always a pleasure, Vanguard. Thank you.
Grateful for you, because you are Knuff.
I am.
No
I
matter
am.
what anyone
And
else
I,
tells you.
you know, and I, you know, I'm proud to say it, and I want everyone to know it. So.
I think so too. I think so too. We gotta talk about that movie next week. I think I had the same impression about it as everyone else did. So.
Wow.
I know. I'm just throwing that gauntlet
Sounds
down
like
as we sign
Vanguard
off.
has a really hot take. Okay.
I do. It just wasn't. All right. Well,
We better go.
We'll get into it next time. I know. So, good night, everybody.